Well, hello and welcome to the overhand knot part 5. As you can tell by now, I really love the overhand knot because it's such a simple and brilliant way of introducing ourselves to so many different knotting concepts. And today we're looking at joining two ropes together, and that's normally called a bend. Where you join two ropes together, it's a bend. And what we're going to do today is an overhand bend. So that's a simple overhand knot like this, which you're very familiar with now. And we're going to join another rope to it by re-threading this, as it's called, often used by climbers. They re-thread figure of 8 knots. We'll look at that another time. I'd strongly recommend that you use a different colour rope for this, because it really helps you to understand what you're doing and keep track of where you're going. So what we're going to do, there's our overhand knot. Keep it nice and loose like that. And we're going to take this second one and we're going to follow the line of the previous knot in the opposite direction. So imagine this is a little worm crawling up against the other one, following the line. It goes underneath there, it follows around, following around here. Just give myself a bit more line. It's going to follow around and under like that. So you can see what I've done. I've made an overhand knot, and then I've made another overhand knot following it in the opposite direction, re-threading it. Then what we can do is we can, what they say, dress it up. So dressing is when you just tidy the knot up, basically. And it's also a good way of making sure that the knot is going to do its job well and perform well. If you can see here, it's a little bit untidy because this is not dressed properly. So let's just flip that over there, and you can immediately see now it looks nice and it's stronger because this isn't likely to slip. Setting a knot very often, nearly always really, makes it stronger and makes it look prettier. So there we have an overhand bend. I'm going to set you a little exercise now because I think it's a useful thing to learn, particularly when you go on to do fancy things like monkey's fists and what have you, which people always enjoy making. So I'm just going to loosen this off a little bit. I'm using 550 paracord, and that's something I thoroughly recommend you getting hold of because it will help you to learn all sorts of things. It's a really useful thing to have and to practice your knots with. We'll talk about that another time. So what I'd like to do is practice adjusting this knot, because it's really useful, as I say, for getting your eye in to follow the way that threads run around knots. So what I'm going to do is we're going to shorten these ends, but we're not going to just cut them off. We're going to shorten them like this, and that means it's going to create some slack here. So let's just take that slack up and follow it through like that. Let's do it on this side as well. Pull that through, and then it's a matter of following the line around, and the slack is here, so we're going to pull that slack up there. Let's do that again. Leave a nice short tail end there. There's the slack. Let's take that slack up, pull it through. I hope you can see this properly on this slightly smaller thread. There's the slack there, take that through. As you can see, and let's just dress that up neatly. A little bit long here, so let's pull that through. Follow it round. It's a matter of thinking through and following the line of where things go. That's a good exercise to get your eyes and hands in the habit of just seeing what the knot is actually doing and where each individual strand is going in relation to the other. An overhand bend.